What's up, guys? My name is Cody, aka Dignity, and this is why I chose reselling over Amazon FBA. No intro. Alright, let's jump right in. So, about 2 years ago, I bought into the hype, dudes. I did the Amazon FBA private label, and people were waving products in my face, and they're selling it's making thousands of dollars a day and selling millions of units a month, and da 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 da. I did a bunch of research. I didn't just believe, the guy that has two first names as a first and last name, or the other guy that has a small, tiny animal as a last name. There's that word. Yeah, didn't believe those guys. But I did my own research, and I felt like, okay, maybe there is some merit to this. So I started doing my own product research, found a cool product called a salad bowl slicer. It was this like little bowl, looks like a strainer, and it has this piece where you can just like twist it and just cuts everything. Pretty cool, actually. And then you could, strain it, rinse it, and everything like that, no problem. So I did the salad bowl slicer. When I looked the product up, it was actually selling a lot of units, and there's only like, I don't know, like 8 or so, 10 or so Chinese suppliers for it. All the listings were like busted English. The photos were all stock photos from Alibaba and stuff like that. So I figured, hey, I can do a better listing. I could take better photography. I can order the product myself, get some videos of the product in action. And yeah, I thought I could set myself up for success. And to be honest, the first one went really well. I bought 1,000 units. I paid about $600 at 60 cents a unit. And then, obviously you have to pay for shipping. You have to pay for clearing customs. And then you have to pay to get it delivered to the Amazon warehouse. And then because you are not actually, putting the labels on yourself, you're not actually getting the product to touch it, you'll need either the supplier or Amazon to put the labels on. I chose Amazon. So once that was done, Amazon was charging me 20 cents per product to label it. So that was 33% of my product cost increased just by the labeling fee. And my first set of 1,000 units, dude, they sold out in less than a month. I made like almost $4,000. And I thought I was set, guys. Dude, I thought I was like, okay, here's product number 2. Here's coming up product number 3. I'm just going to blah, 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 bang these out. And I'm going to have $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 income this year. Easy peasy. Not the case. So I stocked out, which is a huge mistake on my part. My supplier was out of like sellable units, and I had to wait on them to do another production run. Then the shipping time was supposed to be 18 to 20 days. It took like 29 days. And then when it got to customs, there had been a change in the laws on top of everything else that was banning a specific like material that was used in the production of my product. But fortunately, I had receipts proving that I bought this product almost 2 months beforehand, and they grandfathered me in, but that took another 9 or 10 days. So I had already arranged for a pickup from the delivery guy to deliver my product to Amazon, and he missed his window because, obviously my stuff hadn't cleared customs. It was still on the water, actually. So I had to pay him twice to get my product delivered from the dock to Amazon FBA warehouse. It's like a 30-minute ride. Anyway, all said and done, I paid significantly more on my second go round, and I had stocked out, which means, you have no inventory available, and your listing, if it was number 1, just slowly starts ticking down all the way until it's on page 1 billion. I was on page like 5, almost page 6. And the 8 or 10 competition that I had, by the time 2 months had passed and I had gotten my stuff, or 6 weeks, 7 weeks had passed, and I had gotten my stuff back in FBA's inventory for Amazon, there was over 7 pages of sellers, and I was on page 5 and some change. And these were not just Chinese sellers. Like, everybody else had found this product as well. They had gotten it stocked in, and they were selling units a lot more than me. So I almost hit the 6-month mark of the long-term storage fees. That's how long it took me to sell those units. I made much less money per unit because there's a lot more competition. Dropped the price almost 50%. And last but not least, I had to pay out for like Facebook advertising and some other marketing that I did to try to get those units to actually sell. So it literally sold, I think, like 15 or so days before The long-term storage fees kicked in, sold out my last unit, and the worst part of this was I was in Bosnia for all of this. I had already left for Bosnia. I thought I had just like, set this thing up. It was going to start making me money. Not the case. So I abandoned product 2, 3, and all the other ones. I wasn't about to do it again. I wasn't physically there to take care of anything, so it was a huge, huge, huge nightmare. And yeah, I almost lost my ass. So after that debacle, I haven't touched any, online sales or anything like that in the past 2 years. But my fiance and I did make it back in October, and we got married in December. So now she's my wife, and we're in this like weird spot where I just accepted a job, but before this last month, I haven't had a job, and she's not legally able to work here for the next 6 to 8 months or however long the next phase of her visa takes. So we've been looking for something to do. Ourselves, something that we can both do together. I thought about Uber, but I can't, drive with her with Uber, and I don't want to just leave her home all day, bored, if I'm out there driving 12 hours, and I don't want to put the miles on my car. But that was option number one, and we're sitting here discussing our options, and my mom chimes in, of all people, saying that she has a good friend. He's way high up in the military, has a fantastic job now. But even now, on the weekends, he goes to Goodwill. After work, sometimes goes to Goodwill. He picks out things like golf clubs and tennis rackets and just stuff that he knows that he can sell. He posts it on eBay, and he makes a nice passive income. She suggested we try it. We literally hopped in the car in that moment and drove to the nearest Goodwill. Spent $58. Made his first sale of $48 off one item, a blanket, right? That kind of changed things for us. We were at first a little bit skeptical because we sold our first item on February 3rd, and then I think it was like 13 days or 10 days till we sold our second item. So in that time, we had been sourcing, and we kind of got a little worried, right? One item sold, we spent like another $200 since then. Nothing else is selling. It got a little sketchy, and in that time, we also learned a lot. So we picked up a bunch more blankets, thinking that those cool blankets made by Goodwin Weavers, they got these cool prints on them, were going to be like big sellers, because we sold the first one. And we paid $6 for the blanket that we sold for $48. And as of now, it's actually starting to pick up. This will conclude our first month today, so the 3rd of March. This will be 1 month since we started selling, and we have done $820 in sales just on eBay alone, and net sales, that's gross. So after shipping costs and after PayPal fees of 3% and final value fees of 10%, which is 13% total for selling on eBay. We've made a net sales of like $595. We've also sold a couple $100 on just OfferUp alone. We've got about 150 in Mercari, and we just started the Poshmark about a week and a half ago, and we're already over $100 in sales on Poshmark. So for us, this has really been a game changer. I think our total sales net in the first month is just over $1,100. Gross sales is like 15 and some change. And this has recovered all of the money that we have invested, and we're already in the black with about $5,000 or so worth of inventory downstairs just listed and waiting to sell. So this has been a massive, massive, massive change for us. And if we continue to scale this, which is our goal, hopefully this is something that turns into both a full-time job for her, for me, and then something sustainable that we can continue to build over time. And we kind of want to follow this with, a YouTube journey that you guys can be a part of, because I feel like we're learning a lot at a very quick rate, and I want to motivate everybody else to do the same. If you're in the position that we're in, or you're just looking to make some extra money, whether it's looking to make a couple $100 a month, or if you're actually looking to turn it into a full-time job, maybe you're a student, maybe you're somebody who is laid off, somebody who's maybe disabled, can't work, or maybe somebody who's just hungry and they want that side hustle going. This is a fantastic side hustle. It does take some work. I'm not going to say that it's as easy as somebody waving those plastic products in your hand and telling you that if you just send it to FBA, you're going to make millions. No, man, it takes time to go to Goodwill and source stuff. It takes time to go to Walmart, Target, I don't know, Lowe's, Home Depot, Ross, Marshalls, and look for retail arbitrage opportunities. Retail arbitrage is when you can literally just buy something in a retail store and post it for more somewhere online, right? Maybe it's on clearance, maybe they're running a huge sale, maybe you go to the outlets or something like that, and maybe you just have a coupon they sent you in the mail for 25, 50% off something, right? And then going into the store, scanning those items, seeing what they're going for on eBay or Poshmark or Mercari or some other Facebook marketplace, and then basically just picking it up right there in the store, listing it. I mean, sometimes we even list it before we leave the store if we know we're going to buy it. Those are some awesome retail arbitrage opportunities out there. There's a lot of good content, and we're going to also post a bunch of ours as well. And then you also have online arbitrage, which is where you can maybe combine, discounts that the specific store online is doing, maybe some other coupons and other discount voucher codes that you can find online to also apply. Then using things like your credit card with like 4% cashback rewards, or building the points on your credit card by doing those purchases through a credit card, and ultimately getting something online for, let's say, 50 to 75% off, and then sometimes you can get up to 90% off. And the nice thing about doing online arbitrage is that, and retail arbitrage, is that while most of the time the profit margin is lower than if you sourced it at, let's say, Goodwill or some thrift store, you pay $2 for a $40 shirt, you only have one $40 shirt. And if you are looking at a retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, you might be able to buy 10 or 20 or 50 units of an item that you might make $5 or $7 a unit. But across, 10 or 20 or 50 of them, it's a serious amount of profit. So a lot of times when we find retail arbitrage opportunities, those end up going into Amazon FBA because generally the price is a little bit higher on Amazon than it is on eBay and the other marketplaces, and the volume of consumers is significantly higher on Amazon. So if you can check something sales rank and see how, guesstimate how many units a month it's moving, and if you buy 50 and the thing is selling 250 units a month, then you can expect that to sell out in less than a week. That's what we're doing right now. Again, we've made a significant amount of money. We made all of our investment back, and you guys can start with almost no money, and in some cases, absolutely no money. If you have stuff laying around in your closet you're not using, electronics that you're not using, just stuff that you don't use anymore, and you're willing to just go ahead and throw it up there and see if somebody's going to buy it, you can easily make a couple $100s just from the stuff that you have laying around that you don't want to use anymore. And then that starts to build your snowball, whether you're doing, thrifting or, online arbitrage or retail arbitrage. But even if you just have a couple $100, maybe you have $50 and you pick the right stuff, you can turn 50 into 100, 100 into 200, 200 into 300, 400, 500, and continue that snowball. And that's exactly what we're doing, and we want you guys to be a part of that journey. So my final thoughts on this is, if you are somebody who has a ton of money and they're willing to put in a lot of work and risk to purchase a huge order of products from overseas, stock it in Amazon, promote it, all of that good stuff, then maybe Amazon FBA is the better choice for you, private label. And being able to say, if I lose $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 to do this, yeah, I don't feel it. Maybe that's you, and if it is, then yeah, try private label. But if you're somebody who's looking for side income, if you're looking at that, maybe $500 or $200 or $1,000, whatever it is that you have, and you're going, I really can't risk this just disappearing. Maybe that's rent money, maybe that's tuition, maybe that's books, maybe that's gas, maybe that's food. And if you're looking to build a stable, reliable, passive income, then you 100% most certainly can begin thrifting tonight. If it's early enough and the Goodwills aren't closed, thrift stores aren't closed, you can get in your car right now, you can go out and you can start making money. So I'm going to go ahead and, give you guys good content, help you guys follow our journey, and hopefully you guys will be able to take away a bunch of value. And if you did, if this video helped you, if you're someone that's on the fence and you're like, okay, I was kind of wondering if those guys are scamming with the FBA stuff, and if it's really as good as it is, it's generally not. So if this helped you kind of make that decision, then go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, because I really want to help a lot of people stay away from making the mistakes that we did. Specifically, I did. It wasn't her fault. And I also want to provide something that is actually real and tangible, something that you guys can see, touch, and feel, something you could do on your own, something that nobody else can take from you, right? And I'm also going to be putting a lot of content immediately out about how to get your seller limits increased. So if that's you, if you're somebody who maybe has already gotten their feet wet a little bit, you've hit that 5 item limit or that 10 item limit, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the tips and tricks to get that increased ASAP. For me personally, we are at a 500 listing limit with $25,000 of value in less than a month. So that's coming up next. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit the thumbs up button so everybody else can get a hold of this knowledge. And if you're not subscribed, welcome to the channel. Press that subscribe button. But thank you guys. That's it. Again, I'm Cody, aka Dignity, and for me, I'm out.